Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. This morning started off pretty good for me. Had a little workout and everything is good. Trying to stay healthy, all that good stuff. Hopefully you guys are doing the same. And yeah, I want to talk about this really quick, but I'm going to make this a bigger topic when I do my live stream on Saturday mornings around 9:30. I try to get in the swing of things to try to do a live stream. I did one last week. It was pretty successful. Everybody who came through, that was pretty awesome. And I want to continue that. So hopefully you guys will come around and actually, interact with the live stream where we talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. So I appreciate it. Also, if this is your first time here, welcome. I appreciate you, and hopefully you will continue to hang around because, like I said, we talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. We go live and all the other good stuff. All right. I've been looking at the landscape of physical games, and this is a topic that I've been on a good bit. But I go back and forth with this because now I'm starting to really think like what the physical copy landscape look like going forward. And I know like from a company standpoint, but I'm looking at it from my standpoint, the consumer, the person who's buying these games. Because I love to buy games at a good value. I love to buy games that I feel like that is worth it. And to me, I feel like digital games isn't necessarily worth it. I'm not one of these type of people that like to buy digital games. That's why I kind of, in a sense, kind of respect Game Pass because I know I don't own it. I just subscribe, play the game, and drop the game like I'm doing South of Midnight right now. And it is what it is. I play the game for 8-9 hours, put it away, pay the monthly fee to have access to all the games. That's cool. But I do like to buy games that I really want to own. And now there's a whole thing going on now with Nintendo and the Game Key, and then you also have Xbox already doing their thing as far as owning games, physical games not on the disc, and Sony more likely is kind of going to go down that route at some point as well. So where do we go from here? I've been looking at it in my sense to like, I don't know if I'm going to be really collecting games like that for the foreseeable future. I think like with the Xbox One and some Xbox Series games, I'll probably be picking some of those up, picking up some PS5 games, and basically the rest of the stuff down, like the PS4, PS3, the Xbox 360, all those games, the games on the disc, and those are yours. You're going to be able to keep them. You don't have to worry about anything. Maybe a patch here and there or an update here and there. But going forward, like when I'm looking at the Switch 2, I don't think I'm gonna be picking up any physical copies of those games. I just don't think they're worth it. And that's just the Switch 2 is for my son. It's not even for me. The next Xbox and the next PlayStation will probably all be all digital anyway. So I just don't see that. So as far as me being a collector, I can see my time is pretty much coming to an end to an extent when it comes to picking up newer games. Now, when it comes to the retro stuff, I pretty much got every game that I want. And like I said, in earlier videos, I'm probably down to about maybe 3, maybe 4 games that I want that's left. I may find some games that are hidden gems, but I've been doing this for almost 2.5 to 3 decades. I've been doing this for a very long time. It's nothing new that I haven't seen from the retro side of things to say, okay, it's something that I want that I don't have. Pretty much I already have what I want when it comes to the retro side. And when I say retro, pretty much anything from PlayStation 3 on down. PlayStation 3 on down, I'll probably, have everything that I want. But there are situations where I may find some stuff that may interest me. And I have no problem going back to pick those up physical. The digital store, the PS3 store is hanging on by a thread, which maybe we need to go down that path and see what's left over there. And I'll give you a reasoning about that at a later date while we do that. But for the most part, I don't see myself, and I don't even know if PlayStation 6 will have physical copies of games. And same thing with Xbox. I don't know. So the physical side of things is getting pretty dire at the end of the day. It is what it is. It's getting pretty it's getting pretty scarce. You know, the game keys that are out. Do y'all think that game keys is a form of physical? I don't know. I thought about it, but I just like, why would I go out my way to buy a piece of plastic with a case that don't have the contents on the game? I might as well just buy the digital copy, you know. And like I said, for a Switch 2, my son, he doesn't care. He likes going to the store. Don't get me wrong. But if the Switch 2 don't have physical copies, he's not going to, be up in arms like I am. I mean, he's 6 years old. But he does like going to the store and buying games, and that's where the retro side stuff comes in, where I will still go probably buy a Wii game, a Wii U game, a GameCube game. He loves that type of stuff. That's up his alley. But if I could download a game for him, he's good. For me, I know where I am at this point where it comes to physical copies of games. I'm like, hey, I look at my collection. I'm proud of my collection. I love what I have. The games that I do want that are left are quite expensive, and they're games that I'm gonna have to save up for, and that's out of my reach. And the eBay prices don't make it better. Every now and then I'll find one at a brick and mortar store, and that's awesome because I'll go there and I'll find the game and I'm like, cool, I got it, and that's awesome. I mean, that's how I found Thunder Force 6. I was like, oh, that's great. But then again, trying to find Thunder Force 5 or anything like that, which is a game that I have digital on the PS3 store, but I don't have it. I have it digital on the PS3 store, but I don't have a physical copy, which is a game that I do want at some point physical. So that's like one of the 4 games that I want that's left, that's out there. When you get those, when you try to get those games, I have to probably go to eBay to get them, and some of those prices aren't the best. So it's either like I could wait and save and get it, or I'll just just keep holding off until the price goes down. And that's the thing I was talking about, like, just being a smart consumer. Some people be buying stuff and don't know the value of stuff. They buy stuff and gaming could get really expensive, even not just retro gaming. So with the digital side of things, and people are like, well, just go digital. I mean, that's the biggest scam in my opinion. That and paying for online gaming on consoles, those are the things. That's crazy. Like, but I don't want to go in circles in this. We're going to talk about this on the live stream I have on Saturday. We talk about all of this stuff: physical games, digital games, prices. The price of games. I don't want to reiterate the last live stream talking about the price of gaming, but I want to, it's kind of like a piggyback off of that. We talk about the price of digital games, the scam that's going on with online gaming, retro games, and all this other stuff. Where does it end when it comes to collecting? Is collectors being pushed out of the market because a lot of these games don't be physical anymore? That's something to really think about. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get up out of here. They should be done with putting the stuff on my truck because I got to get on this road. And we'll talk again another time. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all be blessed. I'm out of here. Peace.